Harlem's very own, featuring as always your three magnanimous co-hosts. Speaking first, it's Sanaa Lathan, Sugar Baby, Justin K. Winley, a.k.a. Poppy Peacoat, a.k.a. Mr. Around the Block, joined by my boy...
Yo, what's up? It's the phenomenal nigga, a.k.a. Busting Your Girls Lightyear, a.k.a. live from Harlem Sun, the livest one, represent East Side to the fullest. Best stop frontin' when I be running, your host be clucking.
Oh, wow. Man came with balls. Man came with balls.
Jesus,
thank you.
You always come in with the long AKA.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm long-legged.
The extendo.
I'm long-legged.
He is like 6'3".
Exactly.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Ahmad K. Simmons, aka the prehistoric pussy predator, and the Jones in my bones, but Nia Long better get some of this right here because it ain't gonna be here for long.
Oh.
And I said a long one.
Oh, wow.
You do look like Lorenz Tate.
A little bit.
A lot of people saying that.
A little bit. Was that a domer? Was that off the...
That was a domer.
Wow.
Damn it.
It's about drive. It's about power.
We say hungry, we devour.
Hey, I liked that AKA you used at the top of the last episode. It was really funny. You know, I slept with Nia Long once.
Wait, he did?
No.
Imagine.
He probably spit game once. They probably met one time.
I gave her that long dick and I said, "Shut up, bitch."
He hit it with the people's eyebrow, like eat the pussy with the people's
He
eyebrow.
put the elbow drop in her. Oh, so that's what's cooking.
It doesn't matter that you're in a relationship with Ice Cube.
Wait. You think she ate you think she ate Rock's bottom? We're done.
Yes, welcome back. This is our first November episode. We're very excited to be here. We have a few things to talk about on the docket. It is chilly. How are you guys adjusting to the cold weather? I mean, we all got. Well, you don't have sweater on. You got your moobs out. But you know what? I haven't really seen you in V-necks a lot.
I'm not a V-neck guy. I might get into them, but I've never been really a V-neck guy. I feel like it's more European. And like, I'm not that European.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
The Italians do love a V-neck though for the chest hair.
I feel like the Italian part of me is like the pants, like the like.
Got it.
If I were rocking like linen or like the pleated pants,
Yeah,
I would rock that.
Yeah.
But like the tops, I don't know about.
Or maybe a nice floral.
You'll definitely see me in like a cocaine floral next summer. Like I will be out here with the fucking Scarface shit. Right. I'll be out here.
You should try like putting on a V-neck like one time for the one time.
I'll get some from Fresh Tees.
I would say some sweaters, like some good old long sleeve cashmere sweaters.
What I'm thinking about is like the fit like he has.
Probably
the fit like he has. Okay, cool. Because I want to get more of a muscle fit. What's it called? Like turtleneck.
Yeah.
But what I'm afraid of is it being too sucked into my my stomach. I want it to be cuffed around my titties and my arms and loose around my.
Usually, I feel like the muscle. For those listening in, Ahmad just.
It's Ahmad Weinstein.
Ahmad just smacked Jude on the peck. It is juicy.
Rules if you like.
Yo, Justin's also HR, so I'm complaining to HR right now for sexual harassment.
I'll take that complaint under consideration. But yeah,
you were a witness.
I feel like most muscle fit stuff usually is up here.
It's always the shoulders, biceps, and the chest.
Yeah.
And your back.
Right. And then it's like, it'll be a little looser. So yeah, I mean, look into it. I see that for you. I see that in your future.
Thank you. I need to go to the store and not buy online. I need to go to the motherfucker and try it on.
Sometimes you got.
Black Friday is coming up, people. So
that's true. But I've been like, I went out shopping in person recently, and I was just like, what am I doing here?
This
like,
is ghetto.
Where did you go?
I just even like we went to the mall. My family, we went to Palisades Mall a couple weeks ago. We've been there a ton of times. They have a nice selection of shops, but I don't know. It's just like. You see either stuff is too expensive, like you feel like it's overpriced. Maybe it's just me becoming an adult, and I'm like, why would I pay this much money for this? I mean, sometimes the quality doesn't seem to match the price. And then like when you're shopping online,
what stores were you at though?
Well, I guess your Zara, your H&M, your
fast fashion,
like that. Yeah, fast fashion. So
go to Banana Republic.
Banana Republic has some stuff. Most of the stuff. Hey. That's nice.
Pretty.
Ahmad's got on a nice mustard sweater right now. That's nice. This sweater I have on is from ASOS though. I'm the ASOS.
Oh, ASOS is popping.
I'm the ASOS poster boy.
I can't wear anything. Yo, like
it's
the
tough.
pants I got them from them was fire. But
yeah.
I can't wear anything though because like
too teeny.
I'm too big.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3". I'm too big. I'm 220 pounds. Apparently, I'm too big.
220?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, you like 190. He's getting beat up for the winter.
It's not up here. It's my low half. It's my legs.
It's the legs.
I have more ass than some of my ex-girlfriends.
And you know, I feel like some women do get jealous of that too.
Yo, they get real envious, but then they love grabbing on it.
Oh, of course, I was about to say like they do love smacking a guy's ass.
Right.
Any day.
Right.
Whenever it's in sight, some of their hands
just start
twitch.
trembling.
Honestly, niggas just need to start deadlifting the squat and doing kettlebell swings.
Exactly.
That's just what niggas got to do.
I feel like it should be said. You know, I feel like most men out here in this world don't even talk about. They don't, because they feel like it's it's against the masculine
But originally,
law.
it's for safety reasons, because we sit down so much, so our butts are deactivated, and our hips are very tight, and so. But having a strong butt, it can like save you as you get older. You know, like when you're slipping, your muscles activate, and you can save yourself. If you don't have strong enough ass, not strong enough legs, you know, flip and break your lip and break your hip and do all that shit. You know, but if you have solid foundation to the crib, you'll be all right.
Fellas, have a good base.
Good to know.
And not for nothing, it powers things.
Yes, right.
It powers things. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of rockets, let's move to the trailer for Lightyear. Now, it was a few months ago that we had Ahmad on here.
It was a year ago when he first came on.
Yeah, to talk about. Well, actually, you know what is crazy? You said that, Jude, because maybe I should have said this at the top, but today is the second anniversary of our first recording session. You and me. You and me, Jude. So
that's fucking insane.
Yeah, but we one of our episodes way back was just talking about a bunch of nerdy stuff, and Ahmad was on, and y'all were really hyped for this Lightyear announcement.
Congratulations!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What more do you want from me?
Sorry, Tyrese.
Yo, rest in peace to DMX, bro. But that clip of him bursting into tears.
That was Tyrese.
No, the one of DMX just.
Oh yeah,
that's X.
That's funny. That one's funny. Yes. I see that.
We still love him though. We still love him.
We do. But yes, y'all were very excited for the Lightyear announcement. I wanted to get your thoughts on the trailer that just came out last week or 2 weeks ago, as you're listening.
Sir, you go first.
I was extremely satisfied.
Yes.
I don't think there's a better word or a better feeling because Pixar, we already know Pixar comes in with the heavy hitters, and especially when it is tied with Toy Story, which is one of the most loved iconic franchises from Pixar, but to also put out a spin-off film, which we've got a spin-off show that happened years ago, which was the Buzz Lightyear animated TV series.
That was fire.
And so
vaguely,
beautiful.
For
the movie, when he works alone and his partner dies, but then doesn't die.
It was
excellent.
amazing. And now with a better, of course, 2021 technology is here, bigger budget, and just making Buzz Lightyear look like that with hair.
It's hilarious.
I was blown away by the way that they had they shot some of the scenes.
I'm gonna cry in the theater.
The music was just spot on. I ain't gonna lie. I low key choked up when I saw the trailer. So
we crying.
100%.
Me and Amon gonna hold hands. We're gonna be holding hands in the theater like.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. If he says that, I'm done.
Well, they teased
I'm gonna
it.
get To Infinity and Beyond tatted on my dick, bro. Like. Okay, no, I'm not. But it's gonna be beautiful. I'm
The
gonna
shaft
cry.
is gonna be the end of the rocket ship, and it's just gonna.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna dye my pubes red to be
the fire. That's nasty.
That's ridiculous.
That's nasty.
You've
He's gonna dye
truly
red
become
orange.
unhinged.
He's going to dye it red orange.
They tease the Infinity and Beyond moment, right? You know, at the end, and of course they have
suit.
How y'all feel about Chris Evans as the casting choice for?
I'm with it.
I'm okay. I understand. You know, Tim Allen didn't he have like some controversies? Like, what did he do?
Well, I mean, first of all, he's 60-something years old, so he probably wasn't going to be cast for this anyway because it's a prequel. But
Tom Hanks does everything.
Yeah, but I think if they made I don't know, maybe they would cast Chet Hanks if they made a Woody.
They are, you know, that's gonna come next. I saw it on Double Toast. Like, you know, they're gonna make a Woody one. Like, Woody is in there. Woody is in the chamber.
Yeah. Woody is gonna be Jamaican.
Ross, there's a snake in me boots. I don't know. I was kind of Irish. My Jamaican is tough.
In me boot.
They're related. They are related accents, though, because of how the transatlantic slave trade worked, and you know how language started to develop as people came from that part of Europe to the West Indies.
Now that I'm imagining both those accents in my head, they do sound. It
sounds similar, right? Yeah. So there is a relationship, but Jamaican Woody would be hilarious. Yeah, I mean, this trailer was really cool. For me, I enjoyed Buzz Lightyear specifically in the context of the Toy Story movies. Like, I always thought he was a cool action figure. He's an action figure I would have.
Me too. I had it.
Yeah, exactly. I did have what I'm excited for in this trailer. It looks like they're teasing Zurg. There's like a little.
Zurg is wild.
There's a little moment where there's like that creepy alien door opening with a red light, and I'm wondering if they're like hiding him, because I always thought Zurg was cool. He was like a Darth Vader type of thing, and and I had a Zurg action figure, and he shot like little rockets out of his turret arm.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they adapt that. Of course, the memes have already started with
that was an OD.
So.
One thing I want to say about Tim Allen, though, to like revert back,
is
that I know he had some controversies and he's old, but he was selling coke like 30 years ago. He got in trouble with some distribution shit, and he snitched on his little crew and was able to get off scot-free and be the Tim Allen that we all know and love today.
And then
he had like the full-on like Tom Selleck Miami mustache. No, Hawaii. What was it
that Tom Selleck was in?
Yeah. What was that show? What's that show?
Blue Bloods.
Magnum PI.
Oh, Magnum PI.
Magnum PI. That's what he did.
Yeah.
He had that mustache and he was selling that yayo, that booger sugar. Wow. Tim Allen was selling booger sugar. Buzz Lightyear and Santa Claus was selling booger sugar.
He is Santa Claus. You'll forget that sometimes.
It's for him being a snitch. You know, he made millions. You know what I mean?
He did.
But it was a way to protect himself.
He later repurposed all that unsold cocaine on the set of the Santa Claus films. Like, I'm gonna get the best out of my investment somehow.
All the fake snow in Santa Claus was cocaine.
Yeah, they won't be able to tell the difference.
When nobody wasn't looking, he just
look like. All right, let's do this. Ho, ho.
I need a bump. I just need a bump before the next scene. I need a bump.
Oh God.
So yeah, I mean, Lightyear. When does it come out? Did y'all catch the release date? I forgot.
I was so excited to peep for that.
I don't know. It may be 2020. Okay.
Cool. I'm seeing 2022
June.
film. Yeah.
June
17th.
Okay, so we outside.
All right, I'm with that.
We outside. Yeah, we outside.
We outside.
I'm definitely ready for this film to come out. I think this is also relatable to certain cartoons or certain animated films that just aren't really, that good. And then this one was just will sort of be like the refresher.
It feels like it has some love in it and
I
some
feel
passion.
like recent animated films have been pretty good. Like Soul last year, we talked about it.
Yeah.
Like the Pixar and some of the Disney joints the last few years have been pretty dope.
I think Pixar consistently puts out bangers. Yeah. Like, I mean, they put out The Good Dinosaur, which I haven't seen, but
I haven't seen it yet.
I know that a lot of people like that. Disney sometimes, they can be hit or miss.
I like Moana. I didn't see the new joint. I didn't see the Italian lizard one, Luca.
Oh, yeah. I
didn't see that yet.
Well, I didn't know that it was going to be, like, they're going to turn into animals, so I think that's what turned me off from watching it.
I mean, that always happens when it comes to, like, a regular human. You always want to make it, they always want to turn someone
Put it through a journey, make it an animal.
Right. Well, the weird thing is that you go through the trouble of, like, making sure you have, like, a diverse protagonist, and then you just make them a fish. Yeah. It's like, why set this in Italy?
Well, it has an accent.
That's true. It's a fish with an accent. And they have this. There's this.
And my name is Sebastian. Okay.
Hey, Halle Bailey, Little Mermaid. What is that? Is that next year?
Is that in the summer?
They wrapped filming.
Do we have to talk about these broads every fucking podcast?
This is the last time.
Are you sure?
This is the last time.
Are we sure?
2023.
I was just about to say, I think 2023.
It's going to take a lot of time to get the scales right on the fishtail, I guess.
Oh God, when did they CGI that?
Yeah, but you still have to like design it.
Of course, but like, damn.
I mean, it would be nice from a not to get too filmmakery here, but it'd be nice if they put her in like an actual sleeve with the mermaid thing for certain practical shots, and then they enhance that with CG. But they're probably maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll make most of it CG. Who knows? We out to see the Little Mermaid. But
I'll be out to see that.
The next thing on the docket is Pete Davidson making his way around the divorced celebrity circuit.
This nigga.
Jude, why don't you take this one away?
Pterodactyl. So Pete Davidson has been seen way after his moment on SNL with kissing Kim Kardashian.
Right.
He's been seen with her on a roller coaster, holding hands, and being out and about in Pete Davidson's native New York City. Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was hot around here.
Apparently.
But yeah, there's like rumors that they're together, and I'm just like, what? It's just like that whole family is into these weird ass niggas. Like Courtney is with Travis Barker, the drummer, who's hella tatted, and he's dope. He's a dope drummer. He seems like a dope dude, but you're just like, word. And Chloe is O.J. Simpson's daughter, and then we have
nothing
Kim,
to do about that.
And then we have Kim with Pete Davidson now, and it's just wild to me. You're not gonna not tell me that Khloe Kardashian is not big as shit. Not in, size, but in height, way bigger than the rest of her family, has more Negro features, and has a bigger head like her father, O.J. Simpson. That's O.J. Simpson Jr. What are you talking about?
I would like to see the dossier that you put together on.
I don't have a dossier, nigga. It's just fact. It's just fact.
I want to say real quick, Pete Davidson is 27, Kim Kardashian's 41. Just want that out.
That's a win.
I don't think they're together. I think they're probably just kicking it as friends, and you already know how social media just likes to boost everything up to try to make it seem like when two individuals are with each other and they take a picture, they're automatically with each other.
Right.
They're looking at Khloe Kardashian and O.J. Simpson. Come on.
I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. You won't catch me saying it's impossible.
I'm looking at Ahmad's face.
He's squinting.
His nose is all up in the mic.
Just heavy breathing.
Hey, yo. She got the eyebrows.
She
got that mean, just
that
killer
glare,
face.
that killer face.
They definitely need to go to Maury on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then look at the two different fathers, Rob and then OJ.
Right, like you can definitely see Rob in the other girls. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't see it in her.
Not too much.
No.
She does look like Chris though. She has some Chris features. So
people are a mix of their parents.
Of course.
You look like your mother and your father.
Yes.
You look like your mother and your father. Mm-hmm. I look like my mother and my father.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She don't look like Rob.
Robert.
She don't look like this. O.J. Simpson Jr.
Well, just to circle back to Pete Davidson and put a pin in that, I agree with you, Ahmad. I think a lot of times when it comes to celebrities, especially ones who have been through a lot of relationship changes, we have a tendency to jump at thinking like, okay, this is the next one. But Pete Davidson has pulled down some pretty impressive people before. I mean, Ariana Grande alone is like, excuse me?
Is he sad boy shit?
He's funny. Right?
He's funny.
I mean, listen, that definitely.
I'm funny. Ahmad's funny. You're funny.
I'm all right.
Listen. Based on what Ariana Grande had to say in that song, it's not just about his sense of humor.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, if
face and pillow. Head is in that little corner of that couch. You see that space right there?
Yeah.
That's where her head was. Okay.
One leg up, one hand on pony.
One hand on album.
I just think it's funny to see Kim Kardashian on a roller coaster. that's just a funny visual to me. But hey, if she's having fun, she can come out of her ivory tower every now and again and get down in Coney Island with the rest of us. She's not above it.
I think they were both high, and Pete
That's
Davidson
also 100%
said,
possible.
That is absolutely.
Pete Davidson was like, "Yo, Kim, you wanna get on a roller coaster?" She was like, "Yeah." Yeah, and then like they took the picture.
I haven't done that in years.
I haven't done that in years, you know. Me,
when was the last time she was even on a roller coaster? That's a funny idea to me.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian probably has enough money to build one in her house.
She could probably make an entire amusement park in the backyard. Yeah. Let's be honest.
She could rent out Disney World for like a year.
Exactly. But let's move to political party now. We are recording the day after Election Day. New York City has a new mayor, former borough president Eric Adams.
Oh boy,
who is also from Brooklyn, and a former police captain. Once Maya Wiley conceded the election back in June, which I didn't even know until I got to the polls yesterday, that a lot of people say that secured the win for Eric Adams because she was the only other like prominent Democratic candidate, and it's more often than not a Democrat is going to win the mayoral election in New York City.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it was just a given. But yeah, I mean, one of the things we were talking about in our group chat last night was just, being young adults in New York and coming into this stage of heightened ownership and participation in the city, you know what I mean? And really being dutiful citizens, and what exactly it is like we are interested in a mayor doing. Like, what do we want out of a mayor? What do we want to see change? So I guess we can talk about that for a little bit. I was expressing some concerns, and I'll be referencing this article from the New York Times about his election. But I was saying, look, we all know what happened last summer during the George Floyd related protests, and we saw anti-police sentiment really take a sharp uptick. And I just I don't know. Part of me feels like I'm wary about having a former police captain as the mayor in light of that. Yeah. But at the same time, in the interest of trying to build bridges and reach some sort of mutually beneficial decision for inhabitants of a city and the people who are supposed to be policing that city, maybe there's a chance that having a mayor who is a former police captain can help some of these ideas about reform come across a little better. We all, we know that the NYPD and Bill de Blasio did not have a great relationship. They turned their back on him a few times in demonstration. It was a very contentious thing. So maybe this will be better for that. But, this article says his victory signals the start of a more center-left Democratic leadership that he has promised will reflect the needs of the working and middle-class voters of color who delivered him the party's nomination and were vital to his general election coalition. So, I mean, let's open it up. How y'all feeling about New York these next 4 years? That's how long a mayor is in office, right? Unless he gets reelected.
They have three terms to get reelected, so he could be there for 12 years.
Like Bloomberg.
Yeah. And de Blasio. I feel like de Blasio was... No. When did he come in?
2014.
2014. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so he was only there for 8 years. Yeah, but I don't know if I have anything to say in terms of having a specific goal towards what I want to see change.
Yeah.
Of course, I would like to see police reform in New York City, and hopefully a better relationship between police and the citizens. Yeah. I would like to see the homeless crisis come down a whole lot of it, not just a little bit, a whole lot of it. I would like to see education be brought to the forefront and more investment in our education system.
Yeah.
But more importantly, I would like hopefully a change in culture, which will have to take a longer time, maybe past this mayor, but a change in the culture that we think that we're against the city, because we were talking about yesterday, people are just moving into New York City, living here to 5-10 years, and then bouncing back to their hometowns or wherever else life takes them.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. That's, your life and the way you want to see things go. But there are people here who are born and raised here and don't necessarily want to leave here. And they don't have to. Reinvest in the city, reinvest in the citizens, so the citizens can reinvest in the city.
Yeah.
So make people want to stay here and make people care about staying here. Keep things open and just invest in the citizens themselves. So invest in our education, invest in our on our transit systems, our infrastructure for our streets to make things a better place. Give options for our homeless folks to get themselves on their feet more compassionately, and just start a coalition of, I invest in the city, you invest in me.
Yeah.
I would like for things to maybe one day across the board go back to somewhat of the Greeks, where there's the idea of like, people had their jobs, but it's not their whole lives. Right now, our jobs is most of our lives. We spend a lot of time working and not enough time being with our families, but we're also not having enough time working on the citizen, working on the sovereign, the city state. We, are split between work and family, and we just live here.
Right. I see what you mean.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there has to be a better division of how much time we working on the city as a group, having, if that's us voting more, us making more decisions as a collective, and not just like, I'm with my mom, dad, my kids, my partner, and then I'm with my coworkers, instead of just that,
Bouncing back and forth. Yeah.
incorporating all the time so we can live a better life together. We're at work to work for our well-being. We have our family lives, but then we have to work on the collective, what we need for everybody.
Yeah.
I would love to piggyback on that. I love everything that you just said. I would love to add in affordable housing, which is for a good amount of people who have lived in New York, and they would want to find a place of their own, but at the same time, due to gentrification and the amount, like how housing has been, it increased by 10 times the amount as it was 20 years ago. Nobody is able to even like find a decent spot that is bigger than your fucking closet if you're wanting to live in Manhattan.
Specifically, if you want to live by yourself.
Yes. Everybody has to succumb to living with a roommate or 3 other roommates, and go all the way out to Brooklyn or Bed-Stuy, Bushwick. And that's where everybody is now. But if you have it like that, you take your ass to Jersey City, but nobody wants to go on that bus. Not me.
We don't fuck with the path, nigga.
But I would love to see more affordable housing, and I would love for this man Eric Adams, like I'm already giving his ass a fucking side eye. But I would love to see more homeless people be in shelters. Like I feel like there's been an increase in the homeless population in New York. Like everywhere you go, there is a homeless person, and you don't want to see that. You want to see, them just being taken care of. Of course, there are probably events that happen in their lives that unfortunately made them go into poverty. And so nobody will bat an eye or even like try to take care of them or do anything for them, because we always see them as a dirty
nuisance.
I'll say this, I think you guys both raise a lot of good points. And we're not a political podcast, so of course, if you want more insight, you can probably hop over to Just Too Opinionated, our homies Ali and Zuhair, for a deeper breakdown on this. But I saw a post that was really interesting a few months ago now. It was actually Al Prentice. He shared it on his story. Shout out LD. And it basically said something like, a lot of people think New Yorkers are rude. They just don't understand that we have like an ecosystem about ourselves that's very specific. And like, because we don't have a lot of physical space, we give each other a lot of psychological space. So there's this kind of idea that like, I think that's why New Yorkers are it's so easy for us to like tune stuff out.
Yeah.
Because like we just know, like, listen, because if I react, then it's going to spark something else and something else. Like everybody's having a bad day. You know what I mean? My problems are not the end of the world. And this post was specifically talking about like, if you're a tourist in New York, like don't feel afraid about approaching a New Yorker. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be friendly and help you out if you need to go somewhere. I know if I know how to get somewhere, I'll usually tell somebody. I'm not going to be like, of course, figure it out. That's like an old stereotype. But I will say, I think maybe a downside of that is when it comes to the compassion that we should show for each other. We maybe are too psychologically selfish with trying to maintain, like, we're trying to mind our business, you know. And that can come down to ignoring a homeless person, which, like, we've all dealt with panhandlers on the train and we just let them pass by. That's one thing. Or it could be someone's getting attacked and you pull out your phone to record it, or you just keep walking. Even, I mean, like, and obviously self-preservation comes into it, like, and
you're not gonna, like, save someone and then next thing you know they're coming out with a big ass knife and giving you $150 across the face. And, like, it's just
right. Certain things aren't necessarily worth it, of course, but I often think about that as, like, as someone who practices martial arts, right, and as someone who learns self-defense.
Scares the crap out of me all the time. Yeah.
It's like you almost feel like you're a designated reporter.
It's like you have to be Batman or something.
Yeah, it's but like my dad, for example, like, as a parole officer, if he witnessed an incident of child abuse in public or something like that, like, he is mandated reporter. That's the term.
He's mandated. Oh,
he has to report that. So, like, sometimes you feel like if you have a certain level of ability, like, if you see someone in trouble, you should do something about it. But, like, saying all that to say, I feel like we could definitely increase our compassion as citizens toward each other. You know, and as far as Eric Adams, I mean, the dude apparently had a kind of a tumultuous police career. Like, he was known as sort of a troublemaker even when he was a police officer. In terms not in terms of like, you know, killing people, but in terms of making waves within the department as a black officer, pushing for more representation.
Pick your words, nigga. We heard troublemaker were like, yo, he beat the shit out of some dude.
No. He himself experienced police brutality as a young man. And apparently that was part of the motivation for him to become a police officer. But this is from another New York Times article. It says, over the course of the 2-decade police department career that followed, Mr. Adams troubled the water often. He was a fierce advocate for black officers, infuriating his superiors with news conferences and public demands. As he rose through the ranks to captain, he spoke out against brutality and later against the department's stop and frisk tactics.
I wonder, because I have a friend, Charles. He's an older gentleman. I think him and Eric Adams might be around the same age, and he was a cop in Brooklyn as well. And he was, like, known as, like, the Buddhism cop. He's just this big hulking black dude, and I swear to God, the sweetest man I've ever met in my life. Oh my God, I love this dude. And I think he retired now, so congratulations to Chuck. Maybe we should have him on the show. He's a super jazz head, but he would organize meditation around his specific precinct. And I thought that was really dope.
Yeah,
you know, so
stuff like that is cool.
Yeah, it is. So hopefully one day, you know, we can have him on the show or something like that, and hopefully, you know, Eric Adams does well. He'll continue his, you know, bubbling waters with the NYPD, but maybe do it in a different way. Maybe do it appropriately. Maybe the guys that was next to him coming up are now in a different position, in a better position, in a higher up position
to hear
within
him
the
out.
department to hear him out. And real quick, to reinvest in the city, things people should look into: Youth Action, Youth Build. It was a GED program that I was a part of, and All-Star Project with Dr. Lenore Falani.
Yeah,
just had to plug those in real quick.
No, I appreciate it.
I do feel like there should be more youth programs as well.
100%.
I can definitely say that a lot of students who come out of school, you know, they just want to go and hang out with their friends, which is, that's okay. But, you know, you don't want to do that every single time. I feel like there should be some way to add in the arts. For me, when I was 11, like, that was the time that I started acting, and I did it all the way until I was 14. But, you know, just a single recommendation from a teacher or anybody that, you know, that is in your community can just change your life.
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's just an ignorance in terms of, like, kids don't know what options exist, because especially in our community, you know, in Harlem, there's no one up here telling them. I didn't get into acting because someone up here told me, you know. I mean, and granted, I was already, my mom, I think, aware of how inequitable education can be depending on what part of the city you live in. That's why she was always sending me to school in the Upper West Side, and so that's how I was able to get the opportunities I got. But one of my ultimate goals is to start bringing art back to Harlem, because you know, growing up, seeing everything happen in Brooklyn, and you know, it's like, that's cool, but you know, the New York history, first of all, had a dynamic spread of art all over. I mean, hip hop was born in the Bronx. You know, before that you had the Harlem Renaissance. So it's like New York is not just Brooklyn, and I'm sure there was something that happened on Staten Island too at some point. You know, God bless
Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, but I said hip hop, so like.
But no. Like a whole like 9 dudes started a crew.
You're right.
And they renamed the boroughs. Some's a Shaolin. Wu-Tang Clan strikes again.
You're right.
They reinvented how hip hop was distributed.
Method Man, bitch.
No, METHOD man.
ODB.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even get into the whole thing. Just watch the damn series on Hulu.
You're right. Jude's been yelling at me to watch this show.
Wu-Tang.
My bad.
In Staten Island.
My bad.
It's not just niggas from Jersey Shore.
I did not mean to disrespect Wu-Tang specifically. I didn't mean to. My point still stands.
Your homework is to listen to the entire Wu-Tang Clan catalog. I'm about to get cream tatted on my left leg.
Jude has been
cash rules everything around me.
We have all of Jude's tattoo ideas on records, and on some episode he's talking about.
I talked about 2 tattoos today. Damn.
Yeah. So you know, listen. I guess to wrap up this part of the conversation, if there's anything I would encourage our listeners to do, and I know most of y'all are from New York, obviously. Try to remain active, not only politically, because it's like anyone could say, get out and vote, and then you're like, don't tell me what to do, but try to think literally about like, how do I want this city to be better for me, for my family, you know, my future family, if I'm thinking about that, and what ways can we communally build? I like that, Jude, that idea of returning to how the Greeks thought about it. And
by the way,
here comes this
big bastard,
broccoli head,
this zero from holes looking ass nigga.
We getting intruded. Hang that nigga!
Disrespected in his own apartment.
Yo,
Wes Goodrich just walked in.
Like a nigga from Wu-Tang Clan with the Carhartt jacket.
Yeah. Wes, thanks.
From Brooklyn.
Hang that nigga now!
A Brooklyn to Harlem transplant.
Hey, Wes.
What's up, Wesley Snipes?
So, yes. We were going to talk about Facebook.
Mark Zuckerberg is mad weird.
Mark Zuckerberg is
just mad weird.
He is a strange person.
He's started Facebook on some weird stalker shit, my nigga. Like, just go somewhere.
Meta is the Sith. Okay.
He's beyond the Sith. That nigga's Emperor Zurg.
I was literally talking to my girl about it, and she was like, "This is creepy, but interesting at the same time." And she was like, "What if like y'all have y'all virtual meetings, and then Mark is like, hello, Meta Knights,' just like, hello, Mars."
Yo, it's like he's trying to plug you into the Matrix. Like, we're watching the movie. Like, dude, we watched this movie. We're not falling for this.
But we might.
But listen, once it drops, many people will grab it because all of its benefits and properties and
what benefits?
Anything that's in
Is it am I gonna get double toppy? If it's not gonna give me actual double toppy, I'm not gonna use it.
You could probably get virtual toppy. I don't know.
Care about no virtual toppy. I close my eyes and do that by myself.
This is like they have this shit called the Quest system, and it's like a set of it's sort of like the Oculus, but it's like it's glasses, and so you scan your entire apartment, and you know. If you like lose anything, like it'll notify you like where it is. It's very fucking weird. But you can have like a virtual workspace. As you have these glasses on, if you feel like you want to go somewhere, you want to like get away, you can like literally
just bring your office with you with these glasses.
You can bring your office, but also you can just like imagine your entire place. That's like
it still be cold on the outside. Spider-Man, bro. It's really it's really just. Yo, thank God for all these cartoons that we watched growing up because it just prepared me for stupid shit like this. There was an episode of Batman Beyond where you know exactly what I'm talking about too, right? Yo, so like the kids were like in this virtual reality world and they're in this like tube or something and they're living their best life in their virtual reality. But then these kids are getting addicted to it. I was like, yeah. I'm not doing that. Thank God for educational television for making sure I was not going to fall for shit like this.
This is literally a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Like this is literally
we've been living
Black
in
Mirror.
one for a while, but I'll tell you this. I mean, I don't know this glasses idea you're talking about, it sounds like we tried that with Google Glass, and there were people walking into traffic and like,
and niggas really thought they would fucking Vegeta.
It's
over 9,000.
I think for the Quest system, you will use this. They of course, Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg, they probably have seen that and just tweaked it and just made the perfect equipment, like the perfect type of gear for the employees, but also for people who are not employed in Facebook.
Sure.
And so with the Quest system, of course, like they added games with it. You can literally play San Andreas with the Quest system. Like you can literally walk the streets of San Andreas and commit all these.
I can't play a first person game.
I mean,
I'm a 3D person. I need to feel like God. I need to feel like God controlling other motherfuckers. and that is okay. But people gonna love the Quest system is $300, and Facebook is still gonna be like Facebook, like the social media platform, but the entirety of the organization will be turned into Meta. Maybe it'll just get all these niggas off the corner 112th and First. Stop selling drugs, guys. Yeah,
I mean, just Facebook was the starter. It was the start of everything, Then they bought they
MySpace was the start of everything.
MySpace was a starter, but MySpace
AOL
walked
online
so that Facebook can run.
Yeah.
But they didn't really elevate MySpace as to what Facebook is. Like they have Instagram, they have WhatsApp, they have like some other social media platforms. But they said, you know what? Let's turn this into Meta. Like
Facebook is kind of the Disney of social media, where they're just like,
I get that,
eating up all the other little social media babies.
I hope Mark Zuckerberg has testicular cancer or something.
Wow.
I don't know. He may be a robot. That might be a robot.
I apologize. He's just a weird dude, and I don't trust that nigga. And I don't trust that man at all.
It's the tight lips.
No, it's the tight lips. It's the
stalker. You right now.
It's the stalker shit. He looks like Sinestro. Like.
The last thing I'll say about Mark Zuckerberg is, I don't know if y'all remember
He's syndrome.
That live stream he did where he was barbecuing.
Syndrome.
I am syndrome.
and he burnt he torched some brisket on Facebook Live.
That boy doesn't look like he know how to clean.
Yeah.
He has a bidet.
That's why he got an Asian wife.
And now, moving on to In This Corner.
I am so sorry.
Claressa Shields lost her first professional fight ever.
MMA fight, yes.
It was an MMA fight, but it's also the first time she's lost.
And it's okay. I wonder if amateur too, because damn.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she never lost a street fight either, the way that she's built. But she was dealt her the first loss in her professional fighting career. This comes from ESPN. She faced Abigail Montes and was outpointed via split decision on Wednesday. This is Wednesday. Well, this is the week of October 27th. So.
More grappling, per se? Or did she get outstruck, like, with kicks and punches?
It seemed like a situation where it was like a ground and pound thing, I think.
Yeah. That's not just outpointed. That's just out-assaulted.
Yeah, I did better in there. I did pretty good on the cage. Shield told ESPN minutes after an emotional embrace. It was always the ground stuff. Got to get better at defending takedown and stuff. The game plan was just to do better than my last fight. Of course, to win also, but do better.
I like that. I respect that when you lose and you can just not like bounce back like, yeah, I'm happy, but it's just like, no, I know what I need to do. I know where I fell wrong, where I went wrong. Yeah. So I appreciate that. And she knows how to carry herself, and she doesn't look like she's internalizing the loss.
Exactly. But then you have someone like Covington who's still denying that he got his face broken.
Bro,
or maybe he didn't, but even if
maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but you said on that stool, I think I broke my jaw.
Right.
And then your face was looking like Marlon Brando in Godfather with all the puff in your face. Yeah. So you something broke.
Yeah. It was definitely
your will in your face.
Yeah. I think that like you said, Jude, it's good that she hasn't internalized it. There continue to be ruffled feathers. Jake Paul, opened his mouth again, but this time he got shut down by Dana White, which was pretty cool. Jake Paul basically said that I think he
basically called her a loser.
Yeah, he called her a loser, and Dana White was like, "This kid, how about you show some respect for an athlete who's actually fighting people her weight class, who is fighting people
Her age.
in her age in the sport that she is proficient in. You know what I mean?
And she's not even proficient in MMA, and she won one fight.
Exactly.
Her debut.
Yeah.
Was it like what, 8 months ago? 6 months ago?
Yeah, it was. It wasn't that long.
It was in
ago.
the summer.
Yeah, it was during. I think it was July maybe or June.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it's like to a certain extent, Jake Paul is going to say whatever he has to say, and we give him the press, and that's kind of what he wants. But
and the money.
Right, but he does. I think it's important when you see figures like Dana White check him on that, because you know that's a lot of people are going to listen to Dana White.
He's the president of the UFC.
Yeah.
Dana doesn't open his mouth for shit. Let's be honest. He don't open his mouth for shit, especially trying to, defend somebody.
A black woman.
A black woman, yes.
But listen, if she can punch, I don't care what color she is.
She can punch and kick. She good by me.
She could be green. I don't care.
Literally.
That's what he's seeing when he looks at her. He's seeing. It's only a matter of time before he tries to recruit her to the UFC.
I don't think so. They give her like 3 years.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think
3 years.
I think he sees her as a
She's
talented
super
fighter.
marketable, because she's going to take all her fans from boxing into MMA. Then he'll have all those other fans who were introduced to all these other fighters. Like, yo, this is dope. Because not for nothing, boxing is basically withered away and dying.
It's on its way out.
Canelo has a fight this weekend with some dude that he smacked during the press conference.
I saw
You
that.
saw that? And he got a cut from that.
Oh, it's over.
Scary. Listen, like, Canelo is scary, man.
Yeah.
Floyd is lucky. Lucky he caught that boy when he was young.
Yeah.
Because if he fought this Canelo, scary.
Yeah. But to your point, isn't it telling that every time we talk about boxing, we can only really bring up Canelo
And Claressa and Jake Paul.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, as far as the last of the great boxers, like Canelo Alvarez, Vasily Lomachenko, maybe.
There's Gervonta Davis who's knocking niggas out. But it's not like the 80s. It's not like the 90s.
It's just a dry spell.
It's dry because MMA has taken over. Boxing had a bunch of weird business stuff go wrong.
No one takes it seriously anymore.
And HBO boxing crumbled, I think, in 2018, 2017, which was a big draw for boxing. That's where everybody went. It was Showtime and HBO. You had two markets. One market is completely gone. They try to do this weird streaming DAZN thing.
Yeah.
It's just too weird. People don't have access to it. And the people who love boxing are older men, I would say. Generally.
Yeah, like my former manager at TJ Maxx, Malcolm.
How old is he?
Definitely mid-40s.
Definitely mid-40s. From like mid-30s to like how old your pops is.
Yeah.
Those are the people who love boxing, and they can know generally how to get to HBO Max. Or not HBO Max, HBO Boxing. Just go on there, call the motherfucker, plug in their card on their remote, and then they're good. But now they got to do this streaming thing, and then they got to do this thing. They're like, yo, enough. Like, all right, fuck this. I don't care.
What can you say, man? It's a mess. But I remain excited for the future of Claressa Shields.
Me too.
Next episode, when it comes to In This Corner, we'll probably be reacting to this UFC fight that's happening this weekend. So,
yo, I have a paper to write, but I don't care.
This is important. This is history.
Like, I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I was watching a UFC Embedded, which is like a week before the fight.
Yeah. They at the hotel and
the hotel, some footage. I'm watching Colby train with his crew. I'm not very confident in him and his crew. He's an excellent fighter, and the last couple of people he fought have been like, okay, subpar, but then he fought Tyron Woodley is the only one I can think of, and he's already was already out the door.
Yeah.
And he was Colby's younger, more athletic. He was better than Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley was already like off his crap the last couple years. But this new crew he's with, because he's left American Top Team, which he had a lot of other fighters to iron him out with, but there's too many people. But then he went to this place called MMA Masters, and no disrespect, but I'm not sure if that's like the place where you go to get better when you're already fire. Usman did something similar, but he went to Colorado with the Trevor Whitman camp with, as I said, Justin Gaethje and Rose Namajunas, where iron truly sharpens iron.
Right.
Those are the three top fighters in UFC. So they will get each other better. But there's not another top fighter where Colby is. He's the only top one I can see.
He's the top dog. It's an ego thing.
And the same thing happened with Conor. You when you don't, train with iron, you're just gonna get dull. Yeah, you'll get some work in, you can sweat, but you're not getting better.
Yeah.
You don't have anyone pushing you.
Yeah.
It's just not. He needs to go somewhere where he'll get better. I don't know, but I don't know where he can get better because he has this persona of being the wild, crazy white boy.
Yeah.
Trying to be Jack Harlow with cocaine, but you're not doing anything practical.
Yeah.
You need to go someplace where you'll get better, and I don't know if he'll be able to do that anywhere because no one likes his character.
That's true.
So
something's got to change.
He burned his bridge, doing his whole Trump thing. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of MMA fighters, do that Trump shit, but the way you do it is, not really honorable, dog. Like you just kind of, for the memes.
Yeah, that's true. Well, time will tell. Maybe another knockout will humble him further.
I don't think a knockout will do it. I think he need to go. I think he need to go choke, or to be put asleep, like that, like Masvidal sleep.
Oh yeah.
Because he hit just the dust and the sweat of slavery just got knocked off his face. The sweat from his father on the boat from Cuba just knocked off his face. It was tremendous.
Oh my God.
And on that, we are going to take a break, folks, and then we're going to come back to talk about what is going on with the Smiths that Jada and that Will love. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We were talking about whether or not we'd win in a fight with Bill O'Reilly, but we'll save that.
I feel like Justin would hit him with some pinpoint accuracy on some Israel Adesanya shit. He'll just pick him apart like pop, 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 and he'll be like no mas, like Roberto Duran. Ahmad is strong as shit, so I feel like he'll hit him in like the liver or like the kidney, and he'll just like crumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me, I'm gonna kick him OD in his fucking leg. Just hit him in that nerve,
right in the varicose veins,
right in the varicose veins, in that thigh of his, in his ugly Twinkie leg. Take him to the ground, put him in a rear naked choke, and be like, go to sleep, get out, go to the sunken place.
Beautiful. Like we said before the break, we wanted to talk about the mess going on between Jada Pinkett and Will, or the mess that we are orchestrating as fans of theirs.
You know what's funny? I think this is Stop This Nigga.
Who needs to be stopped? Jada? Jada?
Stop this black woman.
This beautiful, confident black woman.
Right. Black.
Before she sets it off.
Stop. Anyway, so yeah, the last week kind of there was a bit of an explosion.
Controversy.
Yeah.
Controversy.
Yes, for sure. Jada's always talking at that red table, and she had on Gwyneth Paltrow, the world's richest con artist, talking about
the queen of con.
Yeah, talking about Goop and whatnot, and her new sex special on Netflix.
Making white women steam their vaginas.
Yep, probably, and other things. There's some black people on there too.
Yeah, I know. My old shorty was into that whole stupid idea.
But
just drink water.
She had Gwyneth Paltrow on, and they were kind of having a conversation related to sexuality and having a long-term sexual partner. And Jada said some things, and the internet went away with it. Let's see if I can find the clip actually, and then I'll edit it in.
He's gonna edit in now,
and we'll just add in the stuff that Jada, what people thought Jada said, but she actually didn't say it.
Yes, please go ahead.
So with this article that is up by Revolt.tv,
owned by P. Diddy, the cursed black man. He's cursed.
They said Jada Pinkett said that they've been down and dirty in it for 26 years, which is it's amazing. A long lasting. Yeah, right. Crazy.
He was there when Tupac got shot.
Shut up.
What? He was there. He went to the hotel room with her mom, and he was like, "Yo, Jada, Pac dead."
Let me just eat your butt to make you feel better. We're gonna call it close contact acting.
The method.
So,
that's hot.
With
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Will and Jada, they have never had an issue in the bedroom because of Jada Pinkett's tweet. She says, "Only because I got time today. Stop making up headlines. Watch the Red Table Talk I did with Gwyneth Paltrow for yourselves. Will and I have never, in all caps, never had an issue in the bedroom. Thank you."
Yeah, and now here's her conversation with Gwyneth, just so that we can all hear it, and then.
I know. I'm
I
sure.
mean, the thing that Will and I talk about a lot is the journey. I mean, we started in this at a very young age, 22 years old.
It's crazy.
That's why the accountability part really hit for me, because I think you expect your partner to know, especially when it comes to sex.
Right.
It's like, well, if you love me, you should know.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you love me,
You should be able to read
you
my
should
mind.
read my mind.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
a huge pitfall.
That's a huge pitfall.
Yeah, it is. I hate that.
You know,
I
and
Isn't
so-
it weird, though? It's like someone doesn't read your mind and we feel crushed. Like, we feel so disappointed. Where do we get that from?
I don't know, because I don't feel like that at all. I guess, or maybe I've just grown out of it.
I think
it's
you
like you gotta
probably-
tell me what you need. Like, I can't read your mind.
Right.
Because I've grown out
that
of
her
it
mother?
too.
Yeah.
Tell me
Right.
what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same.
Buckaroo.
And do you?
I really try.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable,
Very.
but
So you get the
it's
idea.
deeply
They were
healthy.
basically, and I haven't watched the whole episode, but in that moment, it seems like Jada is trying to make a point about how intimacy can be taken for granted when you've been in a relationship for such a long time, and sometimes it's like maybe that leads to some dissatisfaction, but it's not fair to the other person if you just assume that just because you've been getting down and dirty for 26 years that it's always going to be the same.
Of course not.
I think in addition to talking about this, and we can obviously stick with Will and Jada for a while, but I thought it'd be cool to bring this up and just look at like celebrity relationships in general and how we kind of put them on a pedestal that's unfair to the humans who are actually in them. But before we unpack that, there was also then this thing that happened with Future, right?
The most diabolical nigga this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, if we were in the Old West, there would be several warrants out for Future's arrest just for being a hot nigga.
Yo, word.
So the bounties on his head.
For coveting thy neighbor's wife. He's living the sin of coveting thy neighbor's wife.
He literally is. Future has become the latest person to react to Jada Smith's viral comments about her and Will Smith's marriage. As reported by Revolt, Jada's reference to her and Will's sex life on the recent Red Table Talk episode spurred countless jokes and memes last week, many of which also involved the mask-off rapper. One meme showed Future welcoming Will to the dark side, quote-unquote, while another pasted Jada's face on a picture of the Atlanta MC. Another social media user even wrote that Will Smith needs to start hanging out with Future. However, Future, who is often the target of viral memes himself, rejected the idea. "I'd rather hang with Jada, #respectfully," he wrote on his Instagram story.
Respectfully means disrespectful.
My God, this man is a menace.
Why would you do this?
How old is
A
Future?
menace.
He's
How
got to
old
be
is he?
late
Literally in
30s.
his 30s.
Late 30s? You are too
Early
damn
30s,
old.
I believe.
You are too
You're
damn
37.
old to be
Oh,
this
shit.
demonic.
That
Yeah.
don't make no damn sense.
You don't think about it. but
He's too old for me to say, you're 36. He's too old for me to say that.
He's surpassed that.
He's literally a menace.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you said that because a lot of people truly, they really think that they are on the same level of Will and Jada in their marriage. Because all the time, whenever they see some like any couple, any married couple that have been together for so fucking long, and the news just showed that they've been going through some problems, everybody's like, well, I don't want a relationship like that. I don't want to go through problems like that. Well, bitch, you ain't never been with a man for over 2 years, so what the fuck you talking about?
Like, you never have to get to those.
You didn't even
Word.
get to that point of being with someone and going through so much shit for 26 years. And a lot of people's like, well, I don't want to be with someone like that. You know, I want that kind of relationship, but not the shit that Jada talking about. Well, nigga, you talking like that, you ain't gonna get one. All right. I don't like it when people try to put their own opinions in a marriage that they don't even know shit about.
Yeah.
They didn't have marriage in their household.
Exactly. You ain't never been to their household.
Yeah, and
so step foot.
You
Did your parents live in the same house?
Yeah. I mean, it's not only that. No, it's true. But it's not only that, Ahmad. It's also like, okay, then you'll see people who have this obsession with the relationship, and they're like, oh, well, if Will and Jada are having problems, then I'll never be able to find love. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never be able to, I can't trust anybody if like, and it's like, again, these are people, like, yes, they're super famous, and I think on this show a lot of times we talk about how celebrities are real people behind all the stuff that they do to entertain us, but when you're looking at marriage, specifically a marriage under the limelight for 26 years, a marriage, it's like when you think about prominent black couples, the Obamas, the Carters, the Smiths, you know what I mean? Like they're all kind of up there. So that's a lot of pressure in itself. And then trying to maintain this kind of nuclear black family unit image, I just think it's like, it's unfair to them, and it's unfair to ourselves to idolize them.
It's unfair to the kids. They got to hear that shit.
Yeah,
and they're old.
Exactly. They're definitely old enough to be on social media and see all this stuff about their parents.
And then all the homies that's like, why your mom disrespect your dad like that? Why your mom so fucking Tupac?
First of all, wasn't August Alsina like Jaden Smith's friend? Like, weren't
August
they?
Alsina was in his early mid-20s. Jaden was like 14, 15 maybe.
Yeah, okay.
So
right.
it could be like a big brother, little brother situation thing happening, and you don't know the relationship that Jada has with Will. They have an open marriage that has been a rumor once or twice, and I've been involved with a woman or two who've been in an open marriage.
I thought you were going to say I've been involved with their open marriage.
Nah.
Is this an exclusive scoop on the air?
Is an exclusive scoop that I've been fucking Jada Pinkett Smith? No. And not for nothing, me and Jaden are too close in age, and that'll be too scary. It'll be too scary.
Don't mean shit.
He's like, I remember you. About over here, I remember you and set it off, ma. That's how I know you. I don't know how you know me.
Oh,
I know you and set it off.
Not even set it off. When it was the first Nutty Professor, and she was the grad student.
I remember that you just unlocked.
She was the grad student.
She's the love interest in that movie?
She was the love interest.
Yeah, I saw the Nutty Professor.
And Janet Jackson was the second love interest in the Nutty Professor too. So, excuse me, what?
I've never seen Nutty Professor, my brother.
Okay, the door's open.
You know what the door is.
I prefer animated Eddie Murphy.
That's a bold statement.
Really?
Mushu and Don.
But
I like Eddie Murphy in his stand-ups.
Statement there.
But like none of his live action roles.
I like Boomerang. I like
Beverly Hills
this
Cop.
nigga Wes is
the Golden Child. Vampire in Brooklyn.
No, hold on. I saw Dreamgirls in a hotel room with my mother, and I fucking cried.
Okay.
Like, that was great. It was excellent. It was excellent.
Will is still looking at you like fucking crazy.
You said Will is Wes.
I'll tell you, Will. Hey, listen, they both of y'all look alike.
Why Jada disrespecting you, Will?
But this is what I'm saying. A lot of people are so obsessed with the media because this is it. They pick out the certain problems that are going on with someone's marriage, and we are just so obsessed with just thinking about it on a daily basis and giving our opinions. But like I said, that's just like a little speck of what's going on in their marriage, and they turn it into a humongous issue. But I'm pretty sure, Jada and also Will have been going through, individually have been going through problems that a lot of people don't even know about. I'm pretty sure their sex life is the least of their worries.
Yeah.
Worrying about fucking getting money to get what's her name get Willow on tour. Or funding her dream of playing guitar.
Yeah, but Willow's blowing up now.
Oh,
Willow is amazing now.
No, she's fantastic. But can you imagine? This little girl is frustrated. She wants to do music, and she's getting better, working at it, and they want her to succeed. They want her to do well. Or Jada, they want him to do his thing. They're pushing their kids, and all the shit that comes with that. You two as artists, y'all should know the imposter syndrome, the idea of I'm only getting this because of my parents, and them reassuring their kids. No one talks about that part. And then Their kids are doing well and doing their fucking thing, and they're actually talented kids.
Mm-hmm.
They are cut from beautiful cloth and had a good opportunity, but they're still talented kids. Mm-hmm. You know, but they don't have. No one looked at that. You know, maybe how the kids felt about them coming up, becoming artists. But we're just worried about
the kids' opinions.
We're worried about Will Smith possibly being omnipotent in whatever the fuck the word is.
I'm sorry, I tuned out. What are you trying to say?
Nothing. We're worried about if Will Smith's dick doesn't work or something.
Oh, impotent.
Thank you. It's impotence, not omnipotence.
Omnipotent means all knowing.
Okay.
Yeah. But
A new word today.
HVO vocabulary.
Reading rainbow. We need to get like a rainbow thing.
Butterfly in the sky. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, and this is it's not the first time that they've had to defend the solidness of their marriage or not. I'm looking at a timeline from Oprah Daily. But
Oprah would have this timeline.
But
Oprah as a corporation.
but the questions of whether or not they're in an open relationship go back to like 2013. And it's just that tough thing. Like when you're a famous celebrity, how much of my life do I feel like opening up to these people? You know, I was having a conversation with a friend of ours off the air, of course, and we were just discussing like if we were both operating under the assumption that someday we will both be well-known people for whatever reason, and so we were talking about like having kids and whether or not, like, how soon we want to reveal our kids to social media, or if ever at all. And she was like, no one will know I have a kid until they're 16 years old. Like, you will not see this child anywhere. And I get that.
That's Adele.
You know, speaking of that, and not just Adele, you know who I just realized that is gay and came out recently? Cal Penn.
Yes.
From White Castle, from Harold and Kumar. Cal Penn just came out as gay and has been married to this NASCAR driver for 11 years. I'm sitting on my toilet and I'm like, he's gay? And I was like, oh my God.
He's gay. You're gay.
I was like, word. I was like, damn. Like, yo, if y'all want to keep that, if you want to keep something hidden, talk to Cal Penn.
I guess so.
He kept that shit under wraps. He was like, y'all, none of y'all niggas know about this.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know who else is keeping? I mean, we talk about best kept secrets. Like Queen Latifah, you don't know who she with, right?
Ever? No. I still think she was Scooter.
She gay, but I don't think people worried about who she dating. So she's not in the
limelight the same way.
Yeah. Like with Cal Penn, he's in a show right now when he's been known for two of the Harold and Kumar. So other than that, I don't think people really. It was a little shocking because nobody knew about it and he wasn't in the light. But Queen Latifah was always talked about before.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh,
he was in the Obama administration.
He was?
Oh shit.
Apparently, he was a former White House staff member.
Yes, he was. He's a smart motherfucker.
Yeah, well, good for him.
Nice.
But yeah, like, how do y'all feel about that? The notions of privacy, right? Like, when HBO inevitably blows up and people are looking for us, how much of your life do you think you're gonna hide?
Listen, that's why you have the delete button. I don't see a problem with that. Like, if all of us are gonna blow up. Putting that out there. I don't really see. I think there's two things that I'll say off the air that I will probably just be worried about. But at the same time, I wouldn't be too worried. Like, if there was an interview, you'd be like, "Oh, so how did you feel about this?" I'll be like, "How the fuck did you know that?" See now I have to kill you off air.
Don't ever have an interview with Nardwuar.
I would. Oh my God! I would not.
You the police?
No,
bro. I'm saying how.
Don't ever have an interview with Nardwuar.
Were you suspended in 5th grade?
He's gonna. Nardwuar's gonna contact your relatives from the great beyond or some shit, and he's gonna find out all the dirt about you.
Perform a seance, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Jude?
I really be out there. I be talking crazy on my social media. I always be posting wild jokes, but I'll also consult with my therapist on how to operate myself properly when that time comes, and have a plan for that. Not worry about it right now because it's so in the future. Just worry about it when it comes or when it's close to coming. Like, I see it on the horizon, then I'll deal with it.
For sure. I have a friend who, for the sake of her privacy, shall remain nameless. But a friend of mine got a gig on Gossip Girl, and I've told y'all about this.
Buttercup.
Yes.
And she,
We love you, girl.
and she has been talking to me about, like, you know, being wary of that type of stuff, and because she herself comes from like stan culture, and she knows how people operate when they become obsessive about something. She's like, because I'm one of them, I know how to counteract them. Like, she's already preparing for.
I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah, she's already preparing for how to, you know, manage her social media and keep certain things that she wants to be private. And I think that's important. I think, you know, even though this stuff is. The internet is supposed to bring us together. Sometimes it's just too invasive. Like, and I think like everyone has a right to determine how much information about them is shared, specifically when you're in a relationship.
Yeah, specifically. But my one thing I wonder is just like, where do we have the authority or the right to even talk about relationships after a while? Like, I've seen a lot in the podcast game in the last year or so. It's a big focus on relationships, sex, and all this other shit. And I'm just like, where are you coming from? And who are you even talking about? And who are you to talk about any of this? Because we're all in this life experiencing humanity together.
Yeah.
You might know more than me, might know less than me. But what gives you the authority to talk about these things? And why are we so obsessed about it and going into these people for advice and not maybe going to, I may not all have access to it, but therapy. I'm an advocate for therapy. I want to become a therapist. Everyone should go seek therapy.
Yes.
But when you have all these relationship issues and all these problems, I don't think XYZ from whatever podcast, from whatever the
from Harlem's very own.
Or from Harlem's very own. Don't come to me for relationship advice about any of this crap. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what to do with you. I'm just going to tell you, go talk to your therapist. Do XYZ. This is my prescription for anyone going through any problems. Listen to violent rap music, exercise, and go to your fucking therapist. That's it. That is the key to life.
Hit a bag.
Yeah.
Hit a bag.
Hit a bag.
Lift a weight.
Yes.
Use a grappling dummy if you like jujitsu. Something.
Yeah.
Something
need
aggressive.
If you need any type of meditation, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Do that and go to your therapist. That's what you need to do. Punto. End of story. But to go back, I don't know where people get all these ideas about how to become a man through podcasts.
Kevin Samuels.
He be funny and he be right sometimes. But this is what I'm here for. I'm here for the jokes. I'm here for the laughs. That's what this is. It's entertainment. I'm here for the laughs. Because sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes it's very, very funny.
Dr. Umar is funny most of the time.
Dr. Umar is dumb funny. He's stupid, but dumb funny. Yo, Freddie Gibbs whooped that nigga's ass. Yo, Freddie Gibbs is trying to fight academics and Dr. Umar. He said the niggas could tag team. That would be funny. I am here for jokes. I am here to laugh. I'm here for the entertainment. But I am not here for you giving serious advice to these people about how they should operate their lives ever. Don't do it. You're feeding people possible poison. You stupid motherfuckers. I'm talking about niggas on Fresh and Fit. I'm talking about all you red pill niggas. I'm talking about all you crazy broads. Talking about you need to put tricks on dudes. I'm talking about all of y'all. Listen to violent rap music or listen to violent music, period, if you like heavy metal or some shit. And go to your therapist.
And meditate. Meditate is good.
Yeah.
Meditation is very good. And drink some tea. Tea as well.
And there's many different kinds of meditation as well.
Yes, there is.
There's many different ways to achieve a meditative
You can use it on
state.
an app.
Yeah.
You can do it by yourself. You can join a class. You can join yoga.
You can take some cold showers.
Nah, that's different. That's just cold, yo. That's cold.
Literally.
My genitals go back into my body, man. That shit hurts.
Y'all, just sit on the fucking floor, lay on the floor for 20 minutes, and then you just wake up.
Just feel the earth.
Just fine.
Yeah.
Just sink into the floor.
Yeah.
You'll literally feel okay. Or if not, just lay on the floor and then put your legs on the bed or some shit and then just stay there for 20 minutes. I promise you, you'll feel okay.
Find a comfortable physician.
I think what I'll ask to close us out, and I'll start with you, Ahmad, and I know like it's not going to be comprehensive, but if just like when it comes to thinking about a healthy relationship for you, what's like what is a key aspect of a healthy relationship for you personally? What do you need?
I have to just communication and also just being vulnerable. I feel like whenever whenever I am, well, past relationships, I ain't gonna get too much into it, but just like I would tend to put a wall up, and you know, it would be I would feel disconnected from my partner, and that person would feel like I'm trying to shut them out, which, you know, it's like the plan. But you know, once I open myself up, then there'll be much more things to talk to, and it would be a greater bond for the both of us. And for communication, if you feel like there's a problem, just say some shit. Don't let it linger.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, you know, it's going to be brought up within the next week, and then it's going to be more problems on top of problems. But yeah,
I'd say maybe I saw this on philosophy TikTok. I had to go scrolling. I had to go find that now because I need to find other ways to study because I always be on my fucking phone. Piece of crack. But I was watching this dude and he said that life is, you know, when people have the idea of happiness, they think of this fun, fluffy feeling, you know, where things all feel fuzzy and nice and good. But then once they're not feeling that way anymore, they start feeling like a failure. I would say someone who can ride the waves of fuzzy and then not fuzzy, you know, feeling happy and euphoric and loving and, oh my God, it's the best thing ever. And then to be like, oh, this is crazy, this is rough, like what we're going through right now. And it doesn't even have to be like the relationship is tarnished or whatever. It could very well be that or not, but it can be your financial troubles, a death in the family, a death of a friend, or anything that goes wrong and just flips your happiness on its head. Be able to ride the waves for that, you know, and understand that that's what life will do to you. It just comes in waves. Happiness will come in a wave, and then there will possibly be quiet, and there'll be more quiet than happiness or sadness. There'll be more something neutral, and then it might go dip down to depression, and then might shoot back up to happiness. That life comes in waves. Just to understand someone who can ride that wave.
Yeah, well said. I think for me, it's hard maybe right now for me to put into one word, but I think like, I guess I'd say trust, but not in terms of like, trust that I'm like not going to cheat on you or trust or whatever. I mean, stuff like that. I assume is taken for granted that like just the way I function.
Hopefully, it's a given. Yeah.
But I think like emotional trust, and then maybe it's similar to vulnerability, but the idea that like you can bear yourself with me, and that I'm not going to use whatever you give me against you later. A lot of times, I think, especially for us as men, I think vulnerability is a big issue. It's just hard. We're not, you know, and black men, it's like a lot of times we might be raised in relationships. I mean, in homes that stifle us emotionally, that we're not really encouraged to feel sadness or anger or whatever, because then it's going to be punished. So then you grow up into kind of a stilted man, and then your partner's like, why aren't you emotional? And it's like, well, because, but I mean, that's separate. I mean, I just think when it comes to emotional trust, like trust that anything I say to you, like there has to be a foundation of like love, right? So that if I'm coming to you with an issue that I have, you know that I'm not like trying to put you down as a human being. I'm telling you this because I need something to change, or I want you to be aware of this for our relationship to grow. A lot of people, I think, in their relationships, they don't get to that place where they have a solid foundation of respect.
Like, I got you. Like,
right. So anything I say to you, anything that I say to you, I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to come at you sideways. And I think that's something that's crucial for me, so that people don't feel like, they're getting their toes stepped on.
Yeah, like telling us like you're kind of wilding right now, you're bugging, like you're not showing up to work right now, this is going on, that's going on, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
All this stuff is happening, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say you are, a slob or something, but you're falling off a little bit.
Or even if it's just like, listen, the way you talk to me sometimes, I don't really like it. It's not enough to make me want to break up with you, but like, what are you feeling when we converse like this, and how can we, circumvent it? Yeah. So, well, look at us. This is what we like to do on this show. Like to fuse wisdom and wisecracking. Come right in the
wisdom and wisecracking.
Yeah. 3 black men.
Trying to change the narrative.
Exactly.
This is the new black man that you're going to see from here on out in the 21st century, motherfuckers.
Period. Wes over there too. He counts.
Brother Wes.
But well, I think think that's a wrap for us today, beloveds. If you want more Uptown Love, you can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
Wear your condoms. Use birth control. Get an IUD.
Yeah.
Get a vasectomy. I'm always
necklace.
here for the safe sex, yo. You don't want none of this shit out here in the streets. You don't want to get no crazy broad pregnant.
Right.
Or you don't want to have a crazy ass father getting you pregnant. Yeah. Right? You don't want some nigga that work at 7-Eleven getting you pregnant. I don't care.
No disrespect to the 7-Eleven.
No disrespect to 7-Eleven. No disrespect to 7-Eleven, dude, but like, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Give your partner some flowers.
Yes,
Make them feel good about themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Flowers. We love y'all guys, gals, non-binary pals. Be safe till next time. Deuces.
Black women, I love you.